Mudar Zahran, a senior Palestinian, Jordanian analyst, head of the Jordanian-Palestinian Opposition Coalition, exiled in the United Kingdom. Mudar, how do you see the war in Gaza? Who's to blame?
Well, I'm standing here on the ground in the Palestinian territories, West Bank, and now Jerusalem, and I have been mingling with my people, and have been in touch with my people in Gaza who have the confidence to give me the information. They cannot speak to journalists. And unfortunately, we've seen horrifying Hamas tactics. Basically, Hamas killing 35 protesters who protested against it, telling on Hamas television, ordering people not to leave the area, and telling them if you leave the area that you warning them. Hamas terrorists standing at the entrance of areas which the Israeli army warned they're gonna bomb, and they stand at the entrance and they force people not to get out of the area where the Israelis are about to bomb. So basically Hamas is using human shields, and a source inside Gaza confirmed to me that the reason they are using my people in this fashion is they make sure that it buys in time. For example, they know the Israelis would call and say, we're going to bomb your house, leave. And it usually gives them 10 minutes space. So the minute they fire a rocket from inside the house or above a house or next to a house, the Israelis will call and say, we're going to fire in 10 minutes. So it gives the Hamas terrorists a chance to run, and they don't care if the civilians inside die. We have to be accurate. They're not, as you see in bogus videos and lying claims on the internet, that they're tying up children and they're putting them in the tanks, putting them in the houses and in the rockets. They're not doing that at all. They are basically doing just the tactics I gave you, which is much smarter tactics. So when Hamas goes and say, no, we're not tying up children using human shields, they are true, but you are firing next to kindergartens and next to schools, and Hamas is actually applying a new policy of no child left behind. Indeed, they fire next to everything that has to do with children. And we need to call things by their own name. Hamas is basically reckless and playing jeopardy with my people's blood to appease Qatar and Kings of Jordan's policies, which is something I've written and talked about extensively. Now, most Gazans I can authoritatively confirm have had enough with Hamas, and most Gazans I speak to, they don't speak in public, they can't speak in public, and they tell me things at Hamas which I've never thought I would hear in my life.
What can you share with us?
They say things like they call them traitors. They say that they would rather have Israel rather than Hamas. Even they would rather have the Palestinian Authority rather than Hamas. One person told me, a school teacher, that he would rather see the Israeli army instead of Hamas. Things like, may God curse Hamas, may Allah curse Hamas. Now, these are the majority. The minority, which is the Hamas people who are benefiting from Hamas, those are the ones who went to the streets just a few days ago. Please understand that whoever protests against Hamas gets killed immediately. This is not a secret, and Hamas has killed a good number of protesters. 35 in 2 protests, exactly 2 weeks ago at Beit Hanun and Beit Lahia. And Shaja'iyya. And this is confirmed. This I can confirm. Hamas is, again, doesn't pay any attention or find any interest in my people's blood, and would actually rather see my people dying. Hamas is responsible. I'm not basically telling you that Israel is an angel or innocent, but I'm telling you that, by God, I have to be honest, the Israeli army is doing everything it can do to save my people.
And Hamas provoked Israel with the missiles, you say?
All the time, because they get paid by Qatar and Kings of Jordan. It's in their interest not to have the ceasefire. It's in their interest to have my people getting killed.
And let's remind the viewers, in case somebody got lost, that you are a Jordanian Palestinian.
I am a Palestinian son of refugees. I'm an Orthodox Muslim. I'm not a Zionist. I am not on Israel's payroll. I come from a wealthy, well-known family, formerly wealthy family. There's nothing Israel can give me for this stance. In fact, I've lost because of my stance. But I have to say the truth. I personally would rather, and I've said that in television, would rather have Israel take over Gaza than Hamas remain in Gaza. And I assure you, most Gazans I've spoken to agree with me. Thank you much for having me, and let's pray for peace in Gaza, for my people and for the Israeli people. And I've always said this, and I say it openly, the way I differentiate between both Israelis and Palestinians, to me, and again, this is too personal, as a leader, I think of the Israelis as my left eye and the Palestinians as my right eye. I can't take a favor over one another.
Thank you very much, Mudar.
Thank
Let's
you.
hope for peace. Thank
Thank
you.
you.